Hi everyone, today is going to be a little tip, and I'm also going to actually show you the problem of how I corrected it. In my tutorial, Frequently Asked Questions, I've explained in that tutorial about hairline cracks and how I do it with the baking soda and doing it with the cold. Well, I came across this just a couple of days ago and I said, you know what, this is the perfect head to show you about hairline cracks. In my tutorial of explaining it to you, I didn't actually have a doll with a hairline crack. So I thought that this tutorial would be really good to show as an experimental. Okay, this is a very old doll head, and I always try to keep my heads because I experiment on many of them. Sometimes I will experiment colors, paints, just a lot of little things. But here is what I am talking about, hairline cracks. And I'm trying to get that right in the camera. This one shows up really good. And one right here, and it actually went up in here around the eye, and it even came down into the face just a little bit. Now somebody might say to me, well, the hair is going to cover that. And yeah, that's true, but I'm not comfortable with it. And the reason why I'm not comfortable with it is because that crack is pretty deep, even though it doesn't look it. And I feel that that is going to make my doll weak. On the face, can I sand that out and then put clay over it? Personally, I would not do it for this reason. That crack is a lot deeper than what you realize. And it's all around the eyes. And if I go and I lay clay over it, I just don't feel comfortable with it being sturdy. So I'm going to explain to you how I did eliminate these cracks. And I did explain it into the tutorial Frequent Asked Questions. Okay. Climate, where you live, has a lot to do with how your polymer clay is going to react. I live in Florida, so I have a lot of humidity. When the humidity is so bad, my clay will start feeling tacky. As soon as it starts feeling tacky, I had better stop because I have pushed it and I have gone beyond that. And what happens with that is that it gets dirty a lot quicker. As far as the cracks, I did eliminate it. And the way that I eliminated it was by cooking it in baking soda and putting it in the freezer. I wanted to show you what I meant by hairline cracks. The baking soda, I found, draws the moisture out of your clay. If you're working with your clay and you've got a lot of moisture in the air, if you think about it, moisture is getting into your clay. There's a very possibility. So how are you going to know that? You're not going to. You're going to put it in the oven. You're going to cook it. Well, that's moisture. Moisture is going to cause it to crack. The baking soda has really, truly eliminated. I cannot remember when I even had a hairline crack. It has been forever. Also, Moonies. Many people will experience Moonies. Moonies is nothing but trapped air. That's where you've got to make sure that when you are putting your clay on your doll, always do it in thin layers. Do it layer by layer, and then each layer, press it down. Make sure it's pressed down. Moonies can also be caused by dragging your clay. If you're using a very, very soft clay, that's when I found that is when I would really get Moonies. I don't even want to use soft clay anymore. But when you drag it, you can get some trapped air in that. So just be really, really careful, because you do have to drag your clay a little bit. So just be careful. Pay attention to that as you're dragging it. You might want to go back over it. And you guys, my nails are dirty again because I've been dyeing hair. I've been trying to get this out for days. Okay, I wanted to share that with you, and I also wanted to show you exactly what I meant by hairline cracks. Now, the other thing I do want to share with you, and I will say this in every tutorial that I make, is that please, when you try something that I'm suggesting, it might work for me and it might not work for others. But with humidity causing hairline cracks, I have to be totally honest with you. And this is when I found that the baking soda had a lot to do with it, because I was cooking it in baking soda for many different reasons, not for the reason that I thought that it was going to eliminate. Take your doll's head out, or your doll out of the oven immediately. I found that if you take it out and you put it in freezing cold, leave it in there until you can touch the doll. You don't want to put it in and then take it out and it's still pretty warm, because what you want is you want it to go from extreme hot to extreme cold. And what the extreme cold does is it actually expands, it closes the expansion of the clay. Now then, somebody asked me, well, why didn't I do it in cold water? Why did I do it on ice? I don't want my doll head to get wet. And the reason for that is because it's not the wet that is giving me that result. It is just the freezing cold of my freezer that is causing the my clay to react in a different way. So everybody, I hope that this little tip explains that a little bit better as far as a show and tell of the hairline cracks, what the baking soda does, and what it does by putting it in freezing cold. Now then, there's many polymer clays out there. They are different. I'm using Cernit and Kato and sometimes Bozzy, but mostly Cernit and Kato. If other clays may not work with this, I do not know, because I don't use them. I don't feel that the other clays are a clay that is good enough for me. I've established my own way, and I have to have things a certain way. And I have finally found the clays that work for me. So I would not go back to any of the other clays, and I would not know if what I'm suggesting here would even work on those clays. So please experiment. Do not do it on one of your dolls that you have spent many, many hours on it. It's what I did, and this doll here was to be sold. And because I did not know how to eliminate this, I did not know about the humidity. And then when I started keeping my notes and everything, that is when I figured it out. And of course, I had to do my head all over. And you don't want to do it if you don't have to. But starting out, journal. Write down everything that you did that day, everything that your hands get in contact with, everything. I'm really serious. Polymer clay, to me, is not a medium that I cannot just pick up and just make something. I've had many, many problems with it, and it's due to my body chemistry, the climate, whatever. So I hope that this has helped you, and I will see you again on my next tutorial. Thank you and have a great day.